Rico Abreu only wins because of Ricky Warner. Kyle Cummins leads USAC into a busy week around Indy. And where do we draw the line between track prep and the fan experience? Let's go. It's Wednesday, May 21st. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. If you're playing pools during the 2025 dirt racing season, or maybe you participate in Dirt Draft, you're going to throw a wager down on some USAC or High Limit or the Outlaws. Or maybe you're just a stat nerd like me. Make sure to grab a subscription to DIRTRACKR Plus, $4.99 a month or $49.99 a year. With DIRTRACKR Plus, you can dive into the results and stats and get an edge on your competition before you make your picks. Thousands of races, thousands of drivers, all the top series, and a bunch of tools to explore. This is dirt racing like you have never seen it before, and you're not going to find this information anywhere else. You can see everything Plus has to offer and sign up for a subscription over at dirttracker.com/getplus. Rico Abreu again melting faces last night with High Limit in town to race at Grandview Speedway in Pennsylvania. He started fourth, was by Christopher Bell in lap traffic for the lead on lap 10, and then held off a charging Brad Sweet at the Checkered Series win at number 4 on the year. Bell ended up third on a solid night for the 69K. Going back to April 19th, Rico has now won 6 of his last 9 sprint car starts. That includes the 4 High Limit wins, but also a World of Outlaws win and a Knoxville Weekly win at the track. This team started the season off solid, but they were definitely missing something. Since the middle of April, though, a switch has flipped somewhere on that 24, and these guys are just different. The only blemish was a 23rd at Tri-City where Rico got the turn 1 wall, and he was running up front when that happened. He's up to 3rd in the High Limit standings, but still has some ground to make up, sitting 67 points back. I saw a comment somewhere this morning that Rico only wins because of crew chief Ricky Warner. And I guess in this world we live in, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but it's an incredibly short-sighted way to look at the situation and really a crappy way to diminish what Rico and his team have done. Rico has always been a fast driver, and he had wins all over the place before Ricky Warner showed up. I think instead, I'd frame this as Rico just made an incredibly shrewd move to go recruit Ricky Warner to his team after he left Tony Stewart Racing a few years ago. The driver-crew chief relationship is so vital, and careers have been made and lost based on who gets paired together. If you're a driver like Rico, why wouldn't you want the best crew chief you could get leading your team? It just seems like an easy choice to me. Back to High Limit, Sweet's lead on Tyler Courtney has crept back to 46 as Sunshine and the 7BC had engine issues last night early on and eventually needed a provisional to start the feature. Sunshine did charge from 25th to 9th to salvage a solid night, but they'll need some better races at Port Royal to keep the pressure on the 49. Anthony Macri led the way for the posse drivers last night. He finished 4th, stayed hot as well. Since those early season issues for Macri and crew chief Joe Mooney, where they found some chassis stuff, they have been way better. Macri was 7 wins already. Only David Gravel has more so far. I think Macri could be a guy to take some cash out of Port this coming weekend. Looking down through the order, a story to watch going forward will be Danny Sams. Tony Laporta talked last night on the Flow Racing broadcast about that team being down to their final engine in the truck after losing one last night. Sams did run the whole feature, so we'll see if they can get through their weekend coming up. The High Limit teams are off today and tomorrow, and then we'll kick things off at Port on Friday. There's a bunch of local and regional racing going on tonight if you're looking for things to get into, but the action today is going to be headlined by the USAC National Sprint Cars at Terre Haute. That's going to be the 55th Tony Holman Classic. 11 races in for the USAC teams. Kyle Cummins enters this week with 66 points on Justin Grant. Those two, Grant and Cummins, really in a league of their own right now. Mitchell Moles, Logan Seavey, Robert Ballou, they're all 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but they're triple digits behind second place Grant even. Cummins, really the story of the season so far. 5 wins in 11 races, plus 10 top 5s and 11 top 10s. His average finish right now is an incredible 2.45. He's taken a big step forward this season, and it looks like JG might be the only driver with a real shot at catching him. This race a year ago was won by Logan Seavey, while Brady Bacon won the August trip last year to Terre Haute. Other drivers with recent wins at Terre Haute include Grant Ballou and CJ Leary. The USAC week around Indy continues tomorrow night with a stop at Circle City, and then the Silver Crown Series is on the pavement at IRP. That happens Friday night for the Hoosier 100. Earlier this week, I solicited some questions from members on Patreon and actually here on YouTube as well. It's been a while since we did any sort of kind of Q&A situation. If you want to get involved with those membership programs, either head to patreon.com/DIRTRACKR or hit the join button on YouTube. One of those questions I want to focus on here, just one of them. I've got more questions and we'll certainly answer those in the future, but I want to just kind of focus on one today, and that came from Bruce on Patreon. I'm not going to read the entire thing since it's on screen here. You can kind of read it. It's quite lengthy, but Bruce is basically asking about the balance between track prep during a racing program and making sure things keep moving for the fan experience. Through the course of a night, you'll often see tractors and equipment hit the surface for work, and no matter how you slice it, it's going to slow down a race night. He says at the end, is it the tires that are doing this? Is it the quest for a perfect surface, or just the dirt in general? And I do think there are some out there who believe these current iterations of tires have caused more issues for surfaces. But I'm not sure how you measure that. You would obviously need, lots of evidence going back years to be able to say that definitively. I will say overall, balancing track prep is one of the toughest things to get right on a race-to-race basis. It remains a completely inexact science, and some nights the crews can do everything right and still have things go sideways. Track prep, though, and the need for some downtime in between cars on track, it's always going to be a problem for dirt racing, though, especially when it comes to showing things on live television. Bruce mentions here that Flow does well with content to fill the gaps in between, but it is a problem. And you still, even if there wasn't big track prep breaks, you're still going to need some breaks in the night in between heat races and a feature and a B-main, things like that, for guys to have an opportunity to get their cars ready to go. And it's honestly, track prep and all of the downtime in between and the length of these programs is a big reason I rarely watch races live. If I devoted every weekend night to 3 or 4 hours of one show, I think my wife and son would throw me out of the house. The way these programs run is a big factor behind streaming, I think likely continuing to be the best bet going forward. As a 3 or 4 or maybe longer window on live television, that's just not available anywhere. It would be one thing if there was constant action, but no network is going to take an entire series schedule with time slots that large and breaks in the racing. If crews lose the tractor keys once hot laps start, there will always be the danger of rubber. And at some tracks, that could even mean rubber early, like in heat races. So would you rather see a rubber down race and no track prep to get you out sooner, or will you wait for the prep knowing it gives you a better chance at seeing a good feature? My assumption is that more folks would choose the second option. I wish I had a better answer here for Bruce, but this is just one of those areas where I don't envy track and series officials. These are really hard problems to solve, and it's a delicate balancing act to try and get things as right as possible. Feel free to drop your thoughts below in response to Bruce's question. That's the show for today. Thanks as always for tuning in and hanging out for a few minutes. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.